about it themselves. So one way to go about this is to say, I totally get it. Well, let me ask you this, Eddie, like, why would company X charge less money than me? Eddie asked in the chat, he says, if you get the objection that, hey, this other SEO company is charging me less, how would you go about that? So here's one angle that I really like is when people come to price, like, hey, there's this other thing that's less money. The first thing I like to do is make people think about it themselves. So one way to go about this is to say, I totally get it. Well, let me ask you this, Eddie, like, why would company X charge less money than me? And you let them answer it. And usually they'll come to the answer, oh, well, maybe, their team is outsourced, or maybe they're, they don't have that many customers, or maybe they're just not as good. Like, exactly, for me to ask for $3,000 a month, like, that means that people are willing to pay me that. Yeah, otherwise, I'd have to go and charge $500 a month, $1,000 a month. And let's be honest, like, you told me before that you want to get from $6,000 to $12,000. Whether this costs $2,000 or $3,000, an extra $1,000 a month here or there is negligible to the goal here of getting to X amount of revenue or Y amount of revenue. And you want the person who's building all the leads and who's actually going to get you all the customers, you want them to be super motivated too. Right. Otherwise, they're not going to be pushing and doing the things necessary to take you to the top.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Bob, there's a reason why we're on the phone today.
Right.
You came to today because you have a huge issue in your business. You're talking to me right now because I'm one of the best out there in the nation, and you're after results. You're not here to save a few hundred extra bucks a month. You're here because you want a 5x your business or 10x your business. It's like, if they're price shopping, then maybe we're not. If you're price shopping right now, like, maybe we're not a good fit.
Right. Right.
I'm also looking for like top performers, and I'm gonna work with any company, a chicken company, Grand Rapids, whether I work with you or not. Right. I'm gonna come in here and dominate the top position. So and once I get you there, right, like saving this $300 or $400 is like negligible.
Right. I'm looking for long-term business, right? So you plan on being in business the next 5-10 years, I'm assuming, at least, right? Okay. Well, I need you to be successful then, so that you can keep paying me for the next 5-10 years. Right. Okay. And yeah, they're only charging you X amount and it's less, but you're on the phone with me still, which means you have a problem with that. Okay. They're not executing when I will be. Okay, the way that I am successful and the way that I stay busy and you're not getting the results right now. Okay, so let's set you up for success and let's get you started on my package. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Yep. Another great thing too to tell people is it's called like shooting past the sale. So if you guys are, let's say you're making the offer for $1,000 a month, and there's a little bit of back and forth. A great way to go about it is, to be honest, and I know it sounds crazy because on one end, $1,000 a month is a decent sum of money, but truth be told, like, if we're going to stay at $1,000 a month our entire relationship, like, I don't even want to do this to begin with, because if I'm doing my job correctly and you're doing yours, we should be getting to $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month. I want to grow with you with your revenue. I'm not going to just grow someone's business without any of the upside.
Yeah, right.
So
exactly.
You make the offer you're talking about. You're like, hey, this is what I'm not here for $1,000 a month. I'm here for $10,000 a month. But this is the starting point. Like, I'm here. This is the starting point. And if we're talking about this being a lot of money, well, I get it on one end that, look, money's money. You probably don't have a lot of cash in your business. But on the same token, if you're telling me you want to go and grow your business 3 times, 5 times, but then I get to get charged the same rate over the next 3 years, that makes no sense to me.
Right.
And
right.
Now you make it, hey, now the business owner going, oh crap, like now I'm raising it to $5,000.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, let's do the 1,000.
Yeah,
right?
You make the problem
make the problem way bigger.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's a great way to get out of the headspace. Because sometimes what happens is people think relative to their environment. For example, there's a lot of people, like when I lived renting a room in El Dorado Hills, so then moving into my own apartment, and then from my own apartment to San Francisco, like this was like a mental thing for me, right? But in San Francisco, where Epa and I are at, like paying $5,000 a month is not considered crazy here for an apartment. That's actually not considered crazy. But in most of America, they look at you like you're insane, right? But it's all relative to the environment. So every building and people here in this area are conditioned to pay a lot of money because that's the precedent of the area. And so a lot of times what we do is we project our own money issues, we project our own situations, our own rent, our own inability to pay for things we want, and we put that on the SEO or the business owner thinking that they're in the exact same situation or same headspace as us. And a lot of times that's really, really not true or far from the truth.